Hi, everybody. It's Sylvia. So, I've just been starting to play with this platform of Zoom and desire to make another video. Um, I just desire to talk briefly about vulnerability. And it's so funny. For so long, I I get I'm me in the world, but for a very long time too, there are pieces and parts of me that I would feel like I have to put a wall up to the world and not really show all of me. And I have a lot of joy I experience. And I just, that realization that you're not perfect. I mean, well, some people out there might be, but for the longest time, I was striving to be perfect all the time and just doing everything right. And I just have to say, there's such a gift in vulnerability, in showing your true self, no matter how you're being. And also, just as you go through the world, also being willing to say, I screwed up, being vulnerable enough to say, like, to explore the world and create in the world. And then those moments where you just you mess up because you're just having the adventure of living, and being willing to say, hey, I messed up. Or and who knows, maybe it isn't even a mess up, maybe it's just a step in the next direction of where you're going in the world. But I just have to say, I'm very grateful when I've witnessed people be vulnerable, because that was the thing I shied away from forever. Forever. Just seeing people having moments of, like, really truly showing when they got sad, or showing just, all the nuances of what it is to live in this world, and that there's so many nuances to it. We might experience an immense amount of joy. And also, we all have those moments where it's like life is tough sometimes, and you're like, holy fuck. Holy fuck, this, like, life is tough sometimes. And just that acknowledgement that as we go through the world and we be us, and we um as we truly be us, that this being vulnerable and sharing what's going on in our world actually is such a gift to each other. um I've had so many jobs, and I've worked in retail, and I mean, I appreciate, like, sometimes I've done a lot of things in retail, but sometimes you're at the cash register and you do kind of get in a rhythm of, like, hi, how are you? I'm fine. I'm fine. And the conversations I've had with people that speak to me the most, are those moments where people are vulnerable. And sometimes the vulnerability is that they're experiencing immense joy, because sometimes joy is made wrong in this reality. Somebody will put you into a category and say you're manic or something, when in fact you might just be joyful and enjoying life. And then there are those moments where people are vulnerable and they say, you know what, this is what's going on. And I've heard some of those stories recently too. And it's beautiful. Like, it's really beautiful, all of it. The joy, the vulnerability, the like, some beautiful people came through the line and they were just like, I'm having a hard time. And they had some animals that passed, and just being, it makes me cry a little bit. And now I'm being vulnerable. Just their willingness to say that, and we had a beautiful conversation. And that was when I was working like, at my job in retail, and we had this beautiful conversation. And what was amazing about it is that normally there's tons of people coming through the line, like a ton of people. And there was a space where we actually had a conversation and nobody came through the line. And it was this beautiful connection. So I was also thinking about this because recently, I'm on some telecalls, and the person leading the telecall made some follow-up videos that were just really beautiful. sometimes when somebody is facilitating a class, and I mean, I've been to some workshops where somebody's like, I'm right, and this is how it is, and I'm perfect. And this person, the telecall itself is phenomenal. It's this money, it's this money telecall that's so freaking off the charts. And it's all about, like, well, there's so much to it, but they're like letting go of the blocks and really truly stepping into the potency and creating. And uh and the most recent call, there was just some things that came up, and he realized, just his interaction, he felt a little bit stuck by it, and he made some follow-up videos that were truly like completely vulnerable and beautiful. And it's just, I got so much out of that, of just him, barriers down, saying what was going on in his world, and also just saying, like, I don't know if it was like I don't know. Okay, I'm just speaking all cryptic, but just like that willingness to also say, you know what, the way I was being doesn't, and this isn't for him, but like, I'm just saying in general, the way I was being, like, might not have worked, and I apologize, and what next, and this is what I became aware of. And there's just such a gift when we, like, allow our barriers to drop and be really present with each other, or even just with ourselves. And I truly there's a magic in that. And I don't know, there's a depth, there's an intensity, and it's just truly like a richness to each one of us being us in all of all of us, in all of our intensity, in all of our raw, awkward moments. It's just really beautiful, when people be all of them, in their joy, in their sadness, in their, like, not that it has to be about emotions, but in everything that they go through, that we are each this vast richness. We're each such a vast richness in the world. And what if we could let that shine through no matter what's going on? So that's all I have to say tonight. Have a good night. Mwah.